Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paul Oz, and today we're going to be talking about the Spectre Sounds Extinction Level Event Master Kit. But before we begin, I'd like to remind you to hit that notification bell and subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all of my latest stuff. Now, talking about the Extinction Level Event Master Drum Kit. Delicious. I'm letting you folks know, full disclosure, I have not been paid for this video. However, there is an affiliate link, so if you are curious enough to go and purchase, this drum kit, it would help me out a lot if you use that affiliate link in the description below this video. Now, let me talk a little bit about Extinction Level Event. From the demo that you heard at the top of the video there, you can hear that it sounds huge and robust and epic and awesome and all that. But what I'd like to say is one of the first things that I found really nice about it is the fact that, simply put, you don't have option paralysis. So option paralysis occurs if you have like 400 different drum shells and snares and cymbals and everything. No, you get a lot less in regards to that. In terms of the tone shaping that actually happens, you have microphones that you can pick from, which are really, really lovely to utilize. That has already made it a lot more easy for me to get into using these drums in the first place. Because even if I dislike a certain mic, I can pick the other mic on the same piece of kit. It doesn't need to get tuned again, right? The idea is that if you tune your drums, like your toms or your snare or your kick, to your song, you don't need to tune it 50 times. You could just, I'm going to use the other microphone instead, which I really value personally because I don't want to go and rifle through a million different drum shells and like, oh my God, I just want it to work, man. That's what it comes down to. So in terms of option paralysis, definitely solves that problem for me. Moving on, one really interesting and unique feature about this piece of kit, get it, piece of kit, is the fact that there's a perspective button which goes from drummer to audience, which literally changes the mix so that you're perceiving it as if your drummer is playing in front of you, let's say in a jam room, or it's just you as if you're sitting behind the kit, which I think is just so unique and interesting in the first place in terms of panage. Anyways, moving on from there, some of the more simple controls that I found robust were just the fact that there's a cymbals mix as well as a room control. So the cymbals mix itself is great because you're just deciding what you want to hear more of. And typically the way that I like to mix now is I'm about 2 dB increments away. This was taught to me by an old teacher at school, by the way. I'm about 2 dB increments away from the right volume. And the best thing is asking yourself questions when you're mixing, right? Like, is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Anyway, so that's basically what I was doing with this kit, and I found it to really punch through after I made some adjustments. That being said, I think it's time that we actually delve into it a little bit more live style. So let's do that now. All right, so we've loaded it up into our session here. This is a different demo that I did. I made a few demos with this because I got excited and inspired, so why not? And this is what it sounds like. Pardon some of the tearing, my laptop's a little old. That's actually not a problem of the software. That being said, one thing that I found is that this is a little bit heavier on the CPU side of things for my now 7-year-old laptop. So if you have a newer computer, I don't think that'll be a problem. And I'm also being stupid. I'm not printing my bass and things like that. I should have printed it. Anyway, point being, this sounds really stellar. I'm going to go into the shells mix. So this is what I've done, on top of what Glenn Fricker's already done, because I've used his specific preset, which sounds awesome by itself, but I want even more control. I'm the control freak here. I'm mixing this damn song. I don't want Glenn Fricker to tell me how to mix my song. I mean, that would be really cool, but you know, I don't want anyone to tell me how to mix my friggin' song. So anyway, it's on multi-out on the software in here, as you can see, multi-out advanced, and I've got it routed in Pro Tools, in Logic Pro here, so that I have full mixing control down below of all the different levels of things on top of this already pre-mixed bit. So this is pre-mixed, this is a refined mix, right? I pre-mix it in the Spectre Digital plugin here, the Extinction Level Event plugin here, and then I'm refining that mix alongside my guitars and other things that are going on. That's really fun. For me, I really like that. Now the next thing is the cymbals mix. I love this. You can actually see AKG 414, the overhead TF M60. I like the M60 as well. But anyway, it's a really intuitive, simple thing to use. Like I was saying earlier, you're only a couple of dB away from getting that right volume. And I really appreciate that. Now, one thing that I really love and I wanted to talk about was this: processed and the comps, the compressors. So unprocessed, no compression. Sounds all right, but then when you add processed and especially the 76, there's a lot more clarity and well, it just sounds punchier to me in the first place. So when I hit that process button, it definitely eats more of my CPU stuff. And as you can see, I've done a lot to the EQs of some of these things because I wanted more brightness in the room. So I'm going to increase the brightness in the room. Folks, at the end of the day, it's a very simple to use kit. If you already know how to mix a little bit, it's definitely a little bit easier to get along with. I'll say that if I was to switch this over back to the original Glenn Fricker preset, yeah, okay, there you go. The bottom, I don't like snare bottoms. I'm a bit of a prude about snare bottoms. But anyway, sounds pretty damn good. I really like the way that Glenn's kit sounds. It sounds better than mine. Well, okay, fine. So the preset sounds good, okay? Fine. Yeah, there's a lot of punch going on. Anyway, I hope that you found that interesting, because I found that interesting. I didn't script that. Shit, it sounds better than mine. That's okay. No big deal. No big deal at all, whatever. So ultimately, that's the biggest thing with the kit. Easy to use. You can route it out from Contact into Logic or into your DAW, Pro Tools, Ableton. I'm sure that there's a million different DAW compatibilities, and it'll sound pretty darn badass. You can add your own stuff after the fact in terms of EQs, like I have done, because I wanted a bit more brightness out of the high end. I found the top end, I wanted it to be a bit more, so I added some more. That's all, you know, and sure, I might have done it with an EQ after the fact, but I'm sure that had I just EQ'd everything else a little bit more appropriately, as apparently Glenn did, then maybe it would have sounded all right. That's a piss off, hey? The preset sounds good. That's it. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble forever in this video. You've heard the pudding and the proof that is inside of it. Go and check out Extinction Level Event if you want something that's going to quickly sound good, not give you a billion different options, therefore paralyzing you, and will sound great in a mix. I mean, geez. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers, folks.